Okay, so let's go.
I hope it's on.
Bomer Rabbi Chama Barabi Chanina. He says, Lama nismechu oyhalim l'nechalim.
What dot did it just say?
I'm Tes Zayin. Now I'm on Tes Zayin. I'm in the Aleph on the first line. So why is the parsha of oyhalim tents l'nechalim that next to the parsha about rivers? Techsiv k'nechalim nitayu k'ganois alei nahar k'ahalim nota. So in the same pasuk, it describes rivers and tents. So how does rivers and tents, why are they juxtaposed? Just like a river, you can use it as a mikvah. You can become a person who's tamei can become tahor. So to a tent, which is a reference to yeshivas and bati midrashim, where you can learn Torah. So it saves you also from the kaf chayva. A kaf is like in the moiznayim, in the scale. So one side is the chayva, one side is the schos, so you can tilt it towards the schos. The Mishnah says if you read Shema backwards, you're not yaiter. Rabbi Ami v'Rav Asi havu kakatri leike genana. They were Rabbi Elazar. They were preparing the chuppah for Rabbi Elazar. Amar lahu, so Rabbi Elazar the Chassan said, Ad hachi v'hachi, while you're making my chuppah, Ezel ve'eshma milsa de Bey Midrash. I'll go to the Beis Medrash, hear what they're talking about. Ve'esi ve'emiluchu, and I'll go tell you what I heard. Azal ashkechi l'tana dektana k'mid Rabbi Yochanan. He went to the Beis Medrash and he found a Tana who was repeating something over to Rabbi Yochanan from a Braisa. Kara vita. If a person read Kriya Shema and then he made a mistake, he missed a word or he missed a pasuk, he's not sure where he skipped a word. So where do you go when you're not sure where you skipped a word? B'emtza perek. If you know it was somewhere in the middle of the perek, yechzer l'rosh. Go to the beginning of that perek, because you don't know where, so go start again that perek. Bein perek the perek. If let's say you finished one of the two parshiyos, either the Shema or V'haya, and you're not sure which perek you just finished, yachzer the perek rishon, so go back to Shema, not to V'haya, because it's a similar ending, so you're not sure which one you finished. Go back to the beginning of Shema. Bein ksiva l'ksiva. If let's say you just said the word uchsav tam, and you're not sure if it's the chsav tam of Shema or the uchsav tam of V'haya, yachzer l'ksiv rishayna, go back to the first one. And Rabbi Yochanan says to his fellow who's saying over this brisa to him, he says, Leishanu ela shalei pasach b'laman yirbu yameichem. This ksiva l'ksiva that you go to the first one is only where you didn't automatically go on to laman yirbu, on automatic drive. Aval pasach b'laman yirbu yameichem, but if you automatically started to say that, sarchinak advase. So then it's just your regilus. It's what your habit brought you to do, and therefore you can assume that your automatic drive is taking you in the right way. Also, v'amar lahu. So they said this over to Rabbi Elazar the Chassan when they. Rabbi Elazar came back and told the chuppah builders, Rabbi Ami v'Rav Asi. So they said, Ilu leibana lishmai davar z'dayen. It would have been worthwhile just to come to hear that halacha. Says the Mishnah. So you have workers, and it comes a time for Kriya Shema, either in the morning or evening. Kairin b'reisha ilan and b'reisha nidbach. They're allowed to read Kriya Shema on the top of the tree. I guess maybe they're picking fruit for a living, or b'reisha nidbach, or on the top of the row of bricks if they're bricklayers. Ma she'einan rishoyim la'asais kain betfilah. You couldn't do that though for Shema Esrei. This is something you can only do for Shema. Chasen pater mikriya Shema layla rishayna. The Chasen is pater from saying Kriya Shema the first night after he gets married. Ad Motzei Shabbos, up until Motzei Shabbos, they used to only get married Wednesday nights, and there was 4 nights. Either way, Im Lo Yasa Maisa, but that extension till Motzei Shabbos is only if he didn't consummate the marriage. In a story with Rabbi Gamliel, he gets married, and he still said Kriya Shema the first Laila Rishayna, even the first night. Amr Tamidav, his student said, Limadatan Ravenu Shachasim Patami Kriya Shema. You taught us you're not supposed to say Kriya Shema. You don't have to say Kriya Shema. So why are you saying Kriya Shema? I'm not going to listen to you to not being Mikabel al Malchus Shemayim for one moment.
It's interesting, he had Sidurim at that time?
I don't know.
So this is a historical thing too, because you understand what I'm saying.
That he said Kriya Shema anyway. Oh, you're saying because they don't have a siddur, and that's why you need more kavanah?
Yeah.
I don't know if it really makes a difference if there was a siddur or not.
But if they don't remember, they don't...
No, but like the kavanah is more like his mind is elsewhere, so he can't concentrate. Says the Gemara, Tana Rabbanan, Ha'umnin kairin b'roisha ilin b'roisha nidbach, like the Mishnah says, the workers, even though they're up on the tree or the building, mispalin b'roisha zayis b'roisha teina. For Shemayna Esrei, the only kula is if you're on top of an olive tree or a fig tree, because apparently they have a lot of branches, so you feel secure and you'll be able to daven with the minimum amount of kavana. Ushar kol ha'ilanais, but other trees, yardin lamata mispalin, you got to come down. Ubal bayis, the boss, benkach uvenkach yer lamata mispalin, he can't daven up on the olive tree even. Because it's still not ideal, and he's the boss, so he doesn't have to worry about getting fired or anything. Ramile Rav Mari Bara Debas Shmuel Ravam. So Rav Mari asked Rava, Tanan Haumnin Kain Barishan Ilabrishan Nidbach. The Mishnah says the workers are allowed to say Kriya Shema on the tree or on the top of the bricks, the row of bricks. Al Malay Boy Kavana. You see, you don't need any kavana when you're saying Kriya Shema. You just got to get the words out. Urimini, but we see elsewhere how Kriya Shema tzarich shichavanus libai. You say Shema, you have to have kavana, shnemer, Shema Yisrael. Listen, and listening can mean like understanding. Uhulalanu oimer haskeis ushma Yisrael. Malalan, just like by haskeis, when it says Shema, it means you got to understand it. By haskeis, you have to listen carefully and clearly. Afkan b'haskeis. So Shema also, you need the kavanah, so how can we allow workers to say Shema when they're on top of trees? Ishtik, so Rava didn't have an answer, or he was quiet at least. Umarlei, so Rava says to Rav Mari, the questioner, Midi Shmielach B'ha, so what did you hear about this? Maybe you have an answer. Umarlei, so Rav Mari says, Hachi Rav Sheshes, Behu Shebetelim Imelachtin V'Kairin. Even when they're on top of the tree, or on top of the building, it's only when they're not actually continuing to work. So they're not picking more apples or laying more bricks while they say the Kriya Shema. So the requisite kavanah they'll still have, even though it won't be as ideal as being on the ground. How can you say the answer is that they're not working? Beis Hill says they are working. We're talking about where they're actually continuing to work and they're saying Kriya Shema while they're working. Like Hashya have a Perik Rishon, Perik Sheni. Perik Rishon, the first paragraph, they have to stop working. So whatever it takes, 2 minutes, they stop working, and then from the Perik Sheni they continue working from Vihaya. So that's the answer. So for the first paragraph, that's where we say the Haskes Ushma applies. That you need enough kavana, and then from Vihaya you need less kavana.
Rashi says Perik Rishon, Parshat Shema. Shema, or is this V'ahavta? That's really the Pasuk Rishon, or is it the Perik Rishon?
Okay, hold on.
It's 3/4 of the way down.
Well, according to Taisus, it means the first pasuk. That's what Taisus says. And the Rif and the Rosh say it's the first paragraph. Okay, so
Rashi says also Parshat Shema. Does it mean Pasuk Shema or?
What Shema means, I mean, Rashi sort of leaves it more ambiguous.
Yeah, that's what's clear.
Yeah, but Taisvus, and so it's a machlekes rishonim what it means exactly. I think we hold it means the first pasuk.
There is a sign that they did not have Sidurim.
Hmm?
This is a sign that they did not have Sidurim. because they said you could square and still work together.
Yeah.
So that means they didn't have a signal.
Okay.
They have to know by
I
heart.
learned that the first paragraph really starts with Shema. It's like, in other words, we set it out that way that Shema looks like it's sort of a.
But is it its own paragraph?
No.
That first pasuk.
It's the beginning of the first paragraph. We have it separated out that way. That's the way we caught it.
Okay, but in this context here, when it says Perak Rishon, we see there's a machlekes Rishonim if it's referring to the first pasuk, or if it's referring to the first paragraph.
But the first paragraph begins with Shema.
Yeah, but we want to know how far you have to stop working when you're saying Kriya Shema. So there's machlekes. How is it just one pasuk or the whole paragraph? Taner Rabbanan. People working, so they make the brachas before and after Shema. They eat their breakfast, they eat their bread. They make a moiti, they bench. When we spell in tefillah shel Shemona Esrei, they daven Shemona Esrei. I guess the order over here is lav dafka, because I don't know why they're having a Kiddush club in between Kriya Shema and Shemona Esrei. Avol ein yardin, or maybe this is a makor. If anything, it's a makor, right? Avol ein yardin lifnei teivam, but they don't make a shliach tzibur. Ve'ein noisin kapayim, and they don't do nasias kapayim with the kohanim going to the front. Really, you're supposed to do that every day for Shachar and Musaf, but they only do that in Eretz Yisrael. But even in Eretz Yisrael, let's say, they wouldn't do Nesias Kapayim if it's on the boss's cheshbon. V'atanya, the Gemara asks, Me'ein Shemoneh Esrei, that they don't daven a full Shemoneh Esrei, they daven a Me'ein Shemoneh Esrei, a shortened version of Shemoneh Esrei. So we have a stiram. Rav Sheish is like Kashya, Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Gamliel holds that you have to daven full Shemoneh Esrei. There's no excuses. According to Rabbi Yeshua, you don't have to daven a full Shemoneh Esrei. You can get away with a short version, and that's why workers who have a good excuse because it's on someone else's cheshbon, so they can say a shortened version. Rabbi Yeshua, my iria payalim afilu kol adam nami. So that doesn't work either, because according to Yeshua, anybody can say the short version, not just workers. Really, everybody holds like Rabbi Gamliel. Both brises are like Rabbi Gamliel that, it depends how they're getting paid. If they're getting paid for money, every hour they get paid X. So then they're going to make a quickie Shemoneh Esrei, even according to Rabbi Gamliel, because they're getting paid money. However, if they're getting paid with food, so for some reason, if they're getting paid just in food, then the boss cares a little bit less about what they're doing. You know, if they spend a few extra minutes davening, then it's okay. But at Tani, we bring a proof to this distinction between money or food. They daven, they say Kriya Shema, Avoichem Pitan in Mavarchen Lefana, Aval Mavarchen Lacharam. Here happens to say that they don't make a hamoitzi before the bread, but they do bench afterwards. But the benching afterwards is only limited to 2 brachas as opposed to 4. Keitzad, how do you squeeze benching into 2 brachas? Bracha Rishayna Kitikuna, the first one is regular. Shnia, the second bracha, you merge the 2 and 3. So anyways, the second bracha is just a combo of our number 2 and number 3, and I guess these guys are not going to say number 4 at all. That which we say that they don't have to say hamaitzi, they have a quickie benching, all that's talking about where they're getting paid with money, where they're getting paid just with food, or the boss is actually sitting with them when they're eating, then they bench regular. So just like benching, you have one standard of benching for those getting paid with money and those getting paid with food, so we're applying the same logic to Shemoneh Esrei according to Rabbi Gamliel. Money, you shorten the Shemoneh Esrei. Food, you don't have to shorten it. And then we see the concept here where Baal Bais is sitting with him. That's a new thing that just shows that he's okay. If he's sitting with them and having the meal, the breakfast with the employees, then he's probably okay with everybody benching normally. Chasen pater mikriya shema. A chasen doesn't have to say kriya shema on the first night or more if he didn't consummate the marriage. Taner banan b'shivtecha b'veisecha. It says in Shema when you're sitting in your house. Prad la'isek b'mitzvah. So when you're sitting in your house, sounds like you're only dealing with your own needs, your dvar rishos, right? As opposed to if you're busy with a mitzvah. Then if you're busy with a mitzvah, then you don't have to say kriya shema. B'lech techa b'derech. When you're going on your way, again, it sounds like for your own needs. Prad l'chasen. This excludes a chasen who's not just taking care of his own needs, he's taking care of a mitzvah, right? His mind is preoccupied with the mitzvahs. Mikan amru, so from here they say, a kohenes is a basula. If you marry a basula, a virgin, pater. Salmona chayiv, but if you're marrying a widow, then you're chayiv to say kriyishma, because your mind is less occupied. The Gemara will discuss why. My mashma, where do you see in the pasuk that in Belech Decha B'derech that it excludes someone who's busy with a mitzvah? Amra Papa Ki Derech, just like going on a trip on your way. Ma Derech Rishos Afachanami Rishos. So the trip that the pasuk is referring to is only Rishos. It's only your private trip, as opposed to one for the purpose of a mitzvah. So once you're on a derech for a mitzvah, then no kriya shema. Mila Eskina, and the Gemara asks, how do you see that derech is a voluntary personal trip? Mila Eskina de Ka'azal Dvar Mitzvah. Maybe it even means for a mitzvah, because it doesn't say what kind of derech you're going on. And maybe it means even when you're going for a mitzvah, Afilu Achim Rachman Likri, and you still have to say kriya shema. So how do you know that when the pasuk is talking about derech, it means voluntary? Why does it say in your going? You going for you. Your going means it's your needs, your private thing. If it's your business, then you got to say kriya shema. But if it's for a mitzvah, then you're off the hook. So what's the difference? Why are you more preoccupied mentally when you marry a virgin? So the Gemara says, Hacha tarid, v'acha loy tarid. So you're only going to be occupied when you marry a basula. Rashi seems to be setting it up that you're afraid she's not going to be a basula. So that was a big thing. They would actually take the girl to Beis Din and stuff. That's why they were getting married Wednesday night. But either way, that's why there was this mental preoccupation. You're afraid she was not the goods you ordered. Imishum tirda, and if it's because your mind is tarud, you're occupied, afilu, you're worried, afilu tavas finase beyam nami, so then even if your ship is sinking, you're going to be worried, you're losing all that money. Alma alama amrav abba barzavda amrav avel chay b'chol mitzvahs amurs b'terech chutz min tefillin sherei nemar ben pe'er. And avel, a mourner, is chayv in all the mitzvahs except for wearing tefillin, because tefillin it says pe'er, splendor, so that means you have to be happy.
What's a mourner? What point?
Well, I mean, the way we're using it over here is more likely just a person who's, he's upset, like this guy losing his boat, right? So either way, tefillin is an exception, requires a higher level of happiness. But either way, regularly, you're not off the hook for mitzvahs just because your mind is elsewhere because you're bothered.
Probably before Kfura, probably.
Well, that's onin. That's not avil.
Yeah, onin. Yeah, that's different. Or this is just because of your mental state. Amri hasam tir de derishos. That's talking about a tir de derishos. Your boat is not a mitzvah matter. So if you're worried about your boat, that's not going to get you off the hook of mitzvahs, except for tefillin. Hacha, however, here with the chasen, he's worried about his kala, if she's a basula or not. Tir de mitzvah, that's still related to a mitzvah. Says the Mishnah, Rachatz Laila Harishon, Rabbi Gamliel, we're referring to Rabbi Gamliel. He took a bath the first night, Shemeis Ishtai, after his wife died, after they buried her. Amrulai Talmidav, they asked, Limaratan Rabbeinu Shabal Asur L'Chayitz, and Abel's not allowed to take a bath. Amr Lahem, he says, Eini Kashar B'nei Adam, I'm not like a regular person, Istinisani, I'm very sensitive, and if I don't take a bath, I'm in a lot of pain. So therefore, It's different from you. Kishemes Tavi Avde, when his slave Tavi passed away, Kibel alav tanchumen, he accepted consolation from others, as if he was like a member of the family. Amru loy talmidav, they said, you're not supposed to take consolation for slaves. It's considered property, and we're afraid that if you go over to a person and you say over his slave, that they'll think that he's not a slave, and then they'll think that his children are kosher. That's another issue. Amr lahem, he says, Ein tavi avdi kishar kol avadim kashrei. He's not like a regular slave. He was a specialist person. He was a Talmud Chacham, so therefore he made an exception. Chasan imroitali krois kriyishma laila rishain. If a chasan wants to say kriyishma, kairei, he's allowed to. Like that's Rabbi Gamliel's opinion, because he himself did that when he was a chasan. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Aimer loikol roitali tols hashem yitol. Not everybody could do that, because it can look like you're being haughty, like you're very special. You don't go a moment without Al Malchus Shemayim. My time at the Rabban Gamliel, why did Rabbi Gamliel allow himself to take a bath? Kesavra Aninos Laila Midarabanan. The morning and the nighttime, the first night is only Darabanan, and really the morning Midairaisa starts from the day. Techsiv Achrisa Kiyamar. The end is like a bitter day. So Yom, they say the Avelis really is Midairaisa from the daytime. Is like Azrim. So it's only Daraban at nighttime. So that combined with the fact that he had this issue, he's an Istanis, he's very sensitive, so therefore the Chachamim would allow him to take a bath. His slave died. When slaves die, you don't make a shura, you don't make the line, which the Avelim are supposed to walk through, the shura, and everyone consoles them. They don't make the bracha after the Sudas Havrah. They don't make the Birkas Avelim there. But Tanchumi Avelim, they don't do Tanchumin. Amakim Yenachem Eschem. Ma'isa Umeisa Shivchas Rabbi Eliezer. This is the slave girl of Rabbi Eliezer died. Nichnesu Talmidav Lenachamai, his students went in to console him. Kevin Sharaisam, he saw them coming in. Alaliyah. So he tried to avoid them, he went upstairs. Follow Acharav, and they followed him up there. Nichnas Lan Pilan, he went into some small room. And again, trying to avoid his students. Nichnas Acharav, they followed him there. Nichnas Letraklin, in the hall. Nichnas Acharav, they followed him there. Amar Lahem, Kimedumani Shetem Nichvim Bepoishim. I thought you'd get the point, the hint, when I started to go upstairs, that you'd be burned by lukewarm water. You get the point from a small hint. You're not even getting burnt now from boiling hot water. And now I'm screaming at you, keep on running away, you're not getting the point. Didn't I teach you for the death of a slave, you don't make a shoe, you don't make the line. You don't make that bracha, you don't take tanchumin. What do you say to the master? So just like when his animal passes away, Hashem should replace your loss. So basically it's just your bank account went down a little bit. Tani idach, we learned in another brisa, even though a nevid and a shivcha is not a complete goy, it's like a half goy, half Jew. So that's the chiddush. You treat it like property. Tani idach, we learned in a brisa, avadim ushvachais ein maspidin, and you don't say a hesped for them. Rabbi Yossi Emri mevid kashrei, if he was a special evid like we saw before with Rabbi Gamliel with Tavi. Oimrim alav hoi ish toiv v'neman v'nenem yigya. You have a short hesped. You say, woe is this good man who is honest and he was nenem yigya. He enjoyed from his own work. He lived off of his own hands. Amrulai. So they said to Rabbi Yossi, that's the kind of hesped you're allowed to say for an evid. Imkein ma'inachalik shem. What do you leave for the rest of us? Because you can't get nicer comments about anybody. Tanrabanan, ein kairin avais el shleisha. Only three can be called avais. Avraham Yitzchak Yankiv. No one else, even the shvatim. Vein kairin imois el arba. Only four are imahis. Avais my time. What's the reason why only the three? If it's because you don't know if you're from Reuven or Shimon, We don't know which of the mothers we're from, so that can't be the reason why we can't call the Shvatim Avos. It's just because Madregas. Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov is one Madrega, and then there are a lower one. Tani Idach, we learned in another brayse of other Mishvaches and Karnesem Abba Ploini Vima Ploinis. You don't call slaves in the home, you don't call them Abba, like Mr. or Sir or Dad, whatever, because that's already too chashiv. Again, it's probably an issue to do with making their progeny kosher. But in Rabbi Gamliel's house, they would call them with the title Abba Pliny, like it's like Sir. Maisa Listar, so this story seems to disagree with the point you just made. So he's answered no mishum chashivi. They were very special slaves, so therefore they made an exception. The Talmidei Chachamim, whatever it is. What? Yeah. Omar Rabbi Elazar, my dechsi keina barechecha b'chayai b'shimcha esachapai. What does it mean in the pasuk? I will bless you with my life. In your name, I will raise my hands. Keina barechecha b'chayai zu kriyishma. I'll bless you with my life. That's kriyishma. B'shimcha esachapai. With your name, I'll lift my hands. That's talking about davening. And if he does that, he says kriyishma and davens alav akasav oimer. Like the fat, Videshin, what's Deshin here? Deshin is like grain, no? Tisba nafshi, my soul will be full. He'll inherit 2 worlds. So either way, say kriyishma davening, these are the rewards. Rabbi Elazar based the Messiah Tzloise after he finished Shemona Esrei. Amar Hachi had an extra tefillah. You should rest in our goyrol, our fate. Love and brotherhood and peace and friendship. You should expand our borders with more students. You should make our end successful and hopeful. We should go to Gan Eden. Set me up with a good friend. We should wake up and find our hearts willing to fear your name. We should have all of our needs met, satisfied, for the best.
It shows that by praising slaves too, it's a more liberal approach. So
okay.
This is what I could see it from this.
Okay. Rabbi Yechon Abbas and Messiah Tzloise Amar Hachi, after his davening, he said, you should look into our busha, v'tabit biraseinu, and look at our evil. Not our evil, the bad that's happening to us. V'tislabish b'rachamecha, and you should be wrapped up in your mercy. V'tiskase be'uzcha, and you should be covered with your might. V'tisate b'chasiduscha, and wrapped up in your chasidus. V'tisazer b'chaninuscha, and you should gird yourself with your grace. V'tavoy l'fnachamidas tuvcha v'an v'tanuscha. Your goodness and your humility should go before you. Rabbi Zeir busted him Messiah Tzloise, he had his tefillah. We shouldn't sin. We shouldn't be embarrassed. We shouldn't be embarrassed from our forefathers. Rabbi Chia busted him, he said another one. Your Torah should be our jobs. And our hearts should not suffer. And our eyes should not darken. He had his tefillah, long life, chaim shel shalom, life of peace, chaim shel teva, chaim shel bracha, chaim shel parnasa, like in Rosh Chodesh, chaim shel chilat atzamas, chaim sheish b'mir chet, chaim shel busha chlima, chaim shel yiser v'chaved, chaim shetei banu avos teir v'yirshmaim, chaim shetamale lanu es mishalis libeinu l'teva. Rabbi Basar Tzloise Amar Hachi, Yertzayim Hashem Elokeinu v'Elokei Avosenu shetatzinu mi'azei panim. Save us from azei panim, the chutzpah, mi'azes panim, mi'adam ra, the bad people, mi'pegara, bad times, Mietzara, Chavira, Shachin, bad neighbor, Satan Amashchis, the destroying angel, Midin Kashem, a tough judgment, Mibaldin Kashem, a tough guy, Ben Shu Ben Bris, Ben Shena Ben Bris, Be'alfagav de Kaimi Ketsutzi Alei de Rebbe, even though there were police officers or whatever it is, like he had officers protecting Rebbe, he was still afraid of all kinds of bad people who can hurt him, and he davened for protection. Okay.